My scissors is or are missing. Madali lang yung technique dito. Titignan nyo kung may word na pair. Kung wala, plural. Kung meron, singular. Halimbawa, sa sentence na to, wala namang pair dyan, so plural tayo. My scissors are missing. Pero pag sinabi ko ng my pair of scissors is missing. Nag-is na ako kasi nga singular na siya, may word na pair. This also applies to plural-only nouns. Yung mga nouns na laging naka-S form, halimbawa glasses, shorts, pants, slippers, shoes. Ito yung mga items with two parts o kaya naman paired items sila, yung laging may mga kapare. Ganun din sila kapag may pair, singular agreement, kapag naman wala, plural agreement. Halimbawa, that pair of shoes is lovely. Pero, those shoes are lovely. Take note though na kapag yung word na pair na mismo ay plural, halimbawa pairs na siya, then malamang plural na talaga yung agreement. So halimbawa, 2 pairs of shoes have been sold today. So have na kasi pairs. The staff is or are in a meeting. Para malaman natin yung tamang verb agreement, tingin tayo sa subject. Ano ba yung subject natin? Staff. At ang staff ay isang example ng collective noun. Collective nouns are nouns that refer to a collection or group of people or objects. At ang mga collective nouns, pwede silang maging singular or plural depende sa kung paano mo sila i-view or paano mo sila tignan. Kung view mo sila as one whole unit or as a single unit, nagiging singular subject sila. Pero kung view mo sila as their individual members, plural subject mo silang ituturing. For example, kung ang staff ay nasa meeting, we can view them as one whole unit. Yung staff nasa meeting. Singular unit sila. Whole unit sila. Pare-pareho silang nandoon sa meeting na yon. Therefore, we can say the staff is in a meeting. Pero pag sinabi mo ng the staff are in this agreement, bakit na tayo nag-plural? Bakit na tayo nag-are? Kasi yung tinitignan na natin yung staff dito as individual members. Kasi hindi naman mangyayari yung disagreement kung hindi mo sila titignan as individual members, iba-ibang tao na may iba't ibang opinion, na may iba't ibang thoughts or arguments. Each of the students bring or brings a parent. Ang sagot, brings. Tandaan, laging singular kapag each. Every, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, someone, somebody. The food tastes or tastes funny. Unang-una, tingin tayo sa subject. Anong klaseng noun ba yung meron tayo dyan? Ang food is an example of a non-count noun or yung mas kilala natin as uncountable noun, meaning yung mga nouns na hindi nabibilang, gaya ng sugar, ng water, ng advice, ng information. Okay? At kung non-count or uncountable noun yung meron tayo as a subject, we usually treat it as a singular subject. So ang tamang sagot is tastes. The food tastes funny. Or the water is refreshing. Her advice is good. The information is accurate. 1 + 1 equal or equals to. Tatandaan na kapag may mga arithmetical operations tayo, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or something like that, laging iti-take ang singular subject-verb agreement. Kasi they are viewed as a single numerical entity on both sides of the equation. So ang tamang sagot, 1 + 1 equals 2. O kaya, 1 + 1 is 2. Or 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Basta laging singular. 2/3 of the pie has or have been eaten. Tandaan nyo na kapag may mga fractions tulad nito, ang laging titignan is yung noun coming after the fraction. So kung ano yung sumusunod na noun, doon ka babase kung singular or plural yung subject mo. Kung yung sumusunod na noun doon sa fraction ay singular or uncountable noun, then ititreat mo yung subject as singular. Pero kung ang sumusunod naman na noun ay plural, then plural mo rin ititreat yung fraction na yon as your subject. So in this case, since yung noun coming after the fraction ay pie, which is singular, then ang tamang sagot dito is has. 2/3 of the pie has been eaten. Pero kung halimbawa, 1/2 of the pies have been eaten, naging plural na yung agreement. The poor enjoy or enjoys fewer privileges. Ang type ng subject na meron tayo dito ay isang noun na dinerive from adjective. Kasi 'di ba, yung poor naglalarawan yan, describing word yan eh. Pero dito ginamit siya as a noun. In fact, subject siya diyan sa sentence natin. So kapag ganyan na ang subject mo ay isang noun derived from adjectives at tumutukoy sa mga tao, lagi siyang tinitreat as a plural subject. Therefore, ang tamang sagot ay enjoy. The poor enjoy fewer privileges. The rich take advantage of the uneducated. The elite control the game. Reading books is or are my hobby. Huwag malilito, hindi books ang subject sa sentence na yan. Ang subject mo is reading. Reading dyan ay isang gerund. Gerund is a verb in ing form pero nagfa-function siya as a noun. So tandaan na kapag meron kang gerund subjects, they are always treated as singular subjects. Therefore, ang tamang sagot is. Reading books is my hobby. Sarah, together with her sidekicks, has or have left. Huwag malilito, ang subject mo dyan ay si Sarah. Yung together with her sidekicks, intervening expression lang yan. So kahit wala yan, makakatayo yung sentence. At ang pagbabasihan mo ng subject-verb agreement ay si Sarah. So Sarah has left. So again, ang tatandaan mo lang kung yung subject comes with intervening expressions, pwede mo na lang i-ignore yung intervening expressions na to. Tapos, yung subject, i-identify mo kung singular ba or plural, tas doon ka mag-base ng verb agreement. All of the information is or are accurate. Tandaan na kapag meron kang mga quantifiers like all of, lots of, or a lot of, ang titingnan mo yung noun coming after or yung kasunod nitong mga quantifiers na ito. Kapag yung kasunod na noun ay singular noun o kaya naman uncountable noun, singular mong ititreat yung subject. Pero kung ang kasunod na noun ay plural noun, then plural din yung trato mo doon sa subject. So sa sentence na to, since yung kasunod na noun ng all ay information which is uncountable, then singular ang agreement na kailangan niya. So all of the information is accurate. Pero pag sinabi kong a lot of politicians are insincere, are na yung ginamit kasi politicians yung kasunod ng a lot of, which is plural. What we need is or are more volunteers. So wag malilito sa volunteers, hindi yan ang subject. Ang subject mo dyan yung nasa una, yung what we need, yung buo na yun. At kapag ganun yung klase ng subject mo, ang tawag dyan, clausal subject. Kasi diba isang buong clause siya. So kapag meron kang clausal subject, ang laging tatandaan nyo, singular ang agreement niyan. So, ang sagot, what we need is more volunteers. Yes, kahit na plural pa yung volunteers na yan. Kasi again, yan lang naman yung noun na nire-refer or tinutukoy ng ating clausal subject. Pero ang subject pa rin is yung what we need. What we have right now is computers. Again, hindi yung computers ang subject. Ang subject, what we have. Okay? Clausal subject, singular agreement. That he is gay doesn't matter. That he is gay, subject mo, clausal pa rin, kaya gumamit ng doesn't. Singular agreement. Neither the teacher nor the students was or were late. Maraming maguguluhan dito kasi nga, sino ba talaga yung subject? Yung teacher ba or yung mga students ba? Actually, pareho silang subjects. Kapag ganyan, ang tawag natin sa kanila, correlative subjects. Ano ba ang correlative subjects? Yung mga subjects na pinagsasama or pinagjo-join or pinagko-connect ng correlative conjunctions. Ano naman ang correlative conjunctions? Ayan nga sila, yung neither nor, either or, Yung both and or yung not only but also, yan yung mga common na correlative conjunctions. Now, kapag meron tayong correlative subjects, proximity rule ang pinaiiral natin. Ano naman ang proximity rule? Kung sino yung mas malapit doon sa verb, yun na lang yung basihan natin kung singular or plural agreement ba yung gagamitin. So sa sentence na to, since ang mas malapit sa verb natin is yung word na students, plural yan, were yung gagamitin natin. So neither the teacher nor the students were late. Pero pag pinagbaliktad natin at si teacher na yung mas malapit, magiging was na siya. Neither the students nor the teacher was late.